what is it? The net. Well, anyway, for the next year, we were training Navy crews. They went out for a week, going through all of our instructions on the ship. Go back and pick up another crew. We even came up to practice with pontoons off our side at Judith Point, Rhode Island. But anyway, came February of 44, I had to have my wisdom teeth all removed. I had a 3-stripe officer in Norfolk. The next day we set sail for overseas. So I wasn't feeling very good in the rough waters with
that's awful. Most people are up in bed.
We were loaded with 400 tons of ammunition. It was all in there on skids, 5 feet deep over the whole thing. This Bangalore torpedo, they call it. We set off a convoy of approximately 30 ships with destroyers and destroyer escorts guiding on all sides of us to board off submarine. It took us about 17 days zigzagging across the Atlantic Ocean. We got to the Straits of Gibraltar. We went through that. And about 2 days further into the Mediterranean, we were all alerted to, they set off the alarms of the ship, battle duty. You went outside the deck and it's 4 o'clock in the morning. It was lit up just like daylight with flares. German bombers from France, southern France, had come over us. And all of these 30 ships all had 20 and 40 millimeter guns on it. Every third bullet would be a tracer. So it was lit up like a fireworks that you never saw at the fireworks today here. So I got a book written downstairs with all of these step procedures. We escaped that without any damage to our ship. If it had been any, we wouldn't have been able to pick up a piece of it. We unloaded at Bizerte Harbor, Tunisia. This is right after we had captured Sicily. And the Angel beachhead had been gone in a month before. So we unloaded our ammunition. A couple of days later, we moved back out, ship into Oran, Algeria. If I'm burdening you with too much detail,
no, we love it.
We picked up a whole contingent of Free French forces with their guns and vehicles. But we were taking them back to England so they could come in on the invasion.
I'll be 2 baby, you be 1 baby.
It took 17 days to come from the Straits of Gibraltar to England because we had to go out almost mid-Atlantic back to England because of the submarine bases along the coast of France. So then a few days later, we pulled into Cardiff, Wales. We stayed there and had supplies come on board and deport all the Free French forces. And from that point on, from last of April to May, we worked around the coast of England, Cornwall, all along the cities and towns along the southern coast. This was preparation to get ready for the invasion. On about June 4th, we loaded up a contingent of the 29th Division, which was trucks with pulling about a 37 millimeter gun behind it. Each truck had about 13 men on it. They were loaded with ammunition and gasoline. We couldn't, the first day of the invasion, we went to the Omaha Beach. That was the main one with the cliff up and back. We couldn't, with our equipment, there were too many barriers that had to be destroyed before we could land. We finally pulled anchor and went ashore, unloading this division when I won't describe all the details of it. One of the first trucks off, either broke an axle or something in the truck and they couldn't move. The next one off went around it and hit a landmine, and that was our first big conflagration.
That was off that LST boat, right there. That was off that LST boat.
It just came off cloud.
Yep.
So, anyway, without going into more detail about, we finally got unloaded. We took some injured people from that group back aboard. We immediately were converted into a hospital ship because at that stage there were no field hospitals on the beach. Already there had been all kinds of injuries. We completely filled the floor of that tank deck with people on stretchers. We had a Navy team come aboard who performed operations on a makeshift basis all night long back to England. Out of that, over 100 seriously injured people, they only lost 3 on the trip back to England. I thought that was great workmanship with the Navy doctor.